Are you thinking about becoming a DoorDash driver? Whether you're looking just for a little side hustle or a full-time gig, I'm sure you're probably still thinking, is this still worth it? Today, we're going to be breaking it down, going over some pros and cons and everything else in between, so you can find out if dashing is the right move for you. But first, let's talk about what's actually the most popular food delivery service. Because you actually do want to jumpstart quickly, right? And it would only make sense to use the most popular app out there. And DoorDash is that app. And it is that side hustle that you could be looking for. It's a well-established company with multiple restaurants, partners, and merchants. DoorDash is the most popular delivery service with a market share of 67%, and Uber Eats right by it with 23%. DoorDash is also the most downloaded food delivery app in the United States, with nearly 19 million downloads just last year. However, not all markets are going to be the same. You might be in a market where Uber Eats is like your best app. Hey, and that's cool. Go for it. Do what works in your area. I just know for me and my market and with my experience here, DoorDash is king. But here's the question. How can you actually find out what's better in your area? Well, you can actually do maybe something what I did, and I actually went to some of these restaurants and talked to maybe some of the managers or just talked to some of those employees. And I asked them, which app are they more busy with? And everybody that I spoke with all said DoorDash. So that actually got me thinking. I was like, because I actually started out with Uber Eats. I was on that app for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I was on it hard. But after I was just like, I'd like to get some more orders, some better orders. And that's when I started asking, because I want to make sure I am getting the very best opportunities I can get. So let's talk about pay. While some drivers, this is a lucrative side hustle, and some full-time. And whichever way you decide, there's still going to be frustrations out there. But that's with any job, anything that you do. So whatever you find yourself doing, to make sure you're happy. I'm not going to just sit here and say, oh, quit your 9 to 5 and then do DoorDash and do YouTube and do this and do that. You need to make sure what is good for you, because you don't want to quit something what you already have that's going good for you. Just because we get frustrated. We all get frustrated with our jobs. I'm frustrated with all of mine. Hello, somebody. So you might be thinking, well, what should I do? Well, test out the waters. Wait, see, pray. Do what you got to do to figure out what is best for you. But right now, we're going to focus on DoorDash. So let's get started. One of your questions is going to be, how much can you actually make? And on average, some dashers can make anything in between $15 to $25 an hour. But that's not going to be like that for everybody, because some people might be just barely making minimum wage or minimum wage. Then you got to really check and say, can I really do this? And if you're struggling, what can I do to get better? And hopefully this video is going to help you out, because some of the things you got to think about doing this gig, you got to factor in all your maintenance, your gas, future car expenses, oil changes, tires, and just recently I've had to get a new transmission. So, ouch. Then just a few days later, I just had something else. So I was like, not again. So yes, car maintenance can be a big issue. So factor it in, because the wear and tear on your vehicle, you're not going to get that back. And when you're actually in the game and actually doing this for real, two dashers in the same market is not going to have the same experiences. While some dashers, they might be raking in the green with over $20, $25 plus per hour, and here you are making $10 to $12 an hour. You got to figure out, what can I do different? First, you might need to ask yourself, do I need to just give up? Or the second question, how do I get better? Now, if you were more like question number 1 and just giving up, well, you might just want to stop and watching this video and all the other gig videos and find you a good W-2 job, so you can make sure you're using your time wisely and finding what best suits you. Hey, there's no shame in it. This is not for everyone, and just like some other jobs, it ain't for everyone. But if you chose question number 2, how can I get better? Well, let's keep going. So let's go ahead and go over some pros and cons. Let's go over some of the cons. because I'm not going to sugarcoat this for you, because you're watching this video wanting to know more. So here it is. There is no guarantee paid in this. Slow days means low income. Pay can fluctuate significantly based on tip demands and the number of orders accepted, making it really difficult to budget. But if you're just one of those people that's a real go-getter and you're just going to be like, I'm going to get my money, I'm going to meet my goals, you're not going to have nothing to worry about because you're going to meet your goals. Sometimes you just got to have a hunger and a determination just to get what you want. And that's more than just this business. That's just life. If you want it, go get it. The next one is just like I was talking about earlier, the car expenses, the gas, the oil changes, the tires. You are completely 100% responsible for your maintenance, and this impacts your net earnings. Next, there's no benefits such as health insurance, sick days, retirement. You have got to make that thing happen. Next is customer tips vary. And we as gig drivers, we depend on those tips, because when we're just making $2 or $3 just from DoorDash, those customer tips are very, very important. This is the large part of our income. Unfortunately, not all customers are very generous. Like the lowest one I've ever had is a penny. And I've gotten 8 cents, 11 cents, 16 cents, 18 cents, 25 cents, 50 cents, and they think they did something. And for some of those other customers, they just did it just for a slap in the face. But then you're gonna have the flip side where the customer don't even tip at all. I know there's gonna be multiple different reasons why customers don't tip. Where they think, well, the fees are going towards the dasher. No, it doesn't. We're barely making it. The customer may feel all tipped out and they're just tip fatigued because everywhere you go, oh, tip here, tip there. That gets frustrating. And they just say, I'm just fed up with tips. I already gave this money and that money had these fees and that fees and this and that. Hey, I understand. I'm a customer as well. I know. That's why a lot of these times when I'm going to these restaurants, I'm not dining in. I'm getting my food myself and I'm going. But praise the Lord for the people that are ordering off of DoorDash so I can make my side hustle. Next is dealing with challenging customers, where some customers can be rude and inconsiderate. Praise the Lord. Over my nearly 3 years now doing this, I really haven't found that many rude customers. Just a few, a handful. I've actually had more customers give me the wrong directions than actually have a really bad customer. Just recently, just a couple days ago, I had a customer call me and say, you didn't deliver to the right house. I'm like, yes, I did. But what happened was she put her address in wrong. Then she apologized and then she said, oh, I'm actually new. I just moved in. But hey, it was all good. It was all calm. We laughed and it was just a good overall experience. No matter if there was an issue, we got her done. And that's what we have to do. We have to overlook a lot of these issues, keep calm and keep cool and keep going. And if we do have a bad experience, all we have to do is just go to the next customer. No one has to know what you've been through. Just go to the next customer and just forget about it. And if it's a learning experience, learn from it and move on. And another con is the more that we drive, there's more a potential of accidents, vehicle accidents, and injuries. Things happen. But just because things happen, we don't have to let that ruin and run over our life. Sure, there can be an earthquake. There could be a tornado. You get struck by lightning. You could fall. And you could just do anything. But if you don't do nothing, you're not going to get nothing. So what are you going to do? You have to keep a rolling. Next, low pay, long distance orders. Well, guess what you do? You don't take it. Don't take an upside down order. And if the wait time is crazy, unassign. And still, just the other day with me, just a couple days ago, they said 20 plus minutes. I was like, I'm out of here. Finally, let's go ahead and get to some pros. I am so tired of the negative Nancy, but it don't take too many pros for me to outweigh all the bad stuff. But even when there was the cons and the bad stuff, It's all about how you take it and how you look at it and what your actual perspective is. Is the glass half empty or is the glass half full? Because when we look at these pros, first of all, it's easy to get started. You can start driving quickly with minimum training and experience. As long as you have a good car and a smartphone, you're doing good. You're ahead of probably a lot of people. So get started. Next is you're independent. You are your own boss. There's no coworkers. There's no one else to answer to. You are you, and you can make it happen. Next is the flexibility in hours. Whether you want to work the morning shift, the lunch shift, the afternoon shift, at the late night hours, hey, you can work it all. It's totally up to you. Because if you already have a full-time job and you want to have another one, and this is going to be one of your full-time jobs, make it happen. Because in this job, there is some really good potential earnings, but you have to be out there just to be available. And from my experience, my good days have definitely outweighed my bad days. And some of the things that I do to make sure that I'm having more good days than bad days, I make sure that I'm actually out there during those peak times for lunch and the dinner rushes. And I like to add, what I like to call is just a little bonus, is getting out there early and maybe even staying out there till a little bit later. For instance, if I want to be there for a lunch rush, I don't want to just say, oh, I'm just going to just go 11 to 1 or 11 to 2. I probably want to get out there just a little bit early where it might be 9:30 or 10. It depends on what your availability is. But if you can, make it happen. If you can work 8, 9, 10 hours, go for it. If you can just work 3 or 4, do what you can do and don't look back. Another important thing is make sure you're in a market where there's actually good high demand, where there's actually orders coming in. Because the one thing you don't want to do is just be sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. Multi-app. You're not married just to one app. Use as many as you can where you're still sane. Another really great thing to do is make sure you're tracking your mileages. And the one thing I use is the Solo app, which has been a true blessing. And you can maintain your expenses, and this is beautiful at the end of the year for your taxes. So check out the link below and start your 7-day free trial today. Another great thing is actually knowing your market, knowing what restaurants is hot and which ones are not, which ones you want to avoid like the plague. For me, my kryptonite here is probably Wingstop, because sometimes they just have a long wait time, even though they have gotten better in the last couple months. But I've had a couple years experience there just to know they've struggled. But maybe they're under some new management now. But in the past, it's been rough. And don't get me started on how to make the drinks. I can't stand making those drinks. But they're not the only one. But still yet, I'm the freaking driver. Hello, somebody. But let me calm down. Let me woo-saw for a moment. Okay, I'm good. Okay, let's get back. So the more you know your routes, the better you can optimize your map. So make sure you can find the best routes from you to the restaurant or the restaurant to the customer. Try to shave off those minutes and miles. And if you got to choose between the time and the miles, my opinion, you choose the time. Time is something you cannot get back. So time is key. And next, don't chase every order, because you want to reject those bad ones, especially those upside down orders. And when I say upside down, that means your miles is more than your money, such as you got maybe like a $3 for 6 miles. That's an upside down order. You're going to be looking for something that's more like $7 for 2-point-something miles, 3 miles. That's going to be better. Don't just try to accept every order just to keep up your acceptance rating. Be smart, be wise, and don't waste your time. Even as I said earlier, DoorDash may not be for everyone, but for the right person, such as you and me, we're going to make it happen, where it can be a solid income source, whether we're doing this full-time or part-time. And if you have any questions, be sure and put it in the comment box below. And I also like reading your stories as well. And if you would hit that like button. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget the channel membership. And if you want to learn how to unlock bigger payouts, check out this video right here.